All right, so this was definitely successful. It was a lot easier than taking the other one out. Probably a difference. I guess that was maybe an earlier or later model. And this 81, for one, so what you have to do is take this piece out, which has the 7mm on the top. On an 81, it's not covered by the weather stripping, which is really nice. The weather stripping is on here. You go down. One 10mm here, another 10mm here. Once you take those out and you pull the weather stripping out, this is also on the other one, it's one piece. This is multiple pieces. So if you take this piece of weather stripping out, which just pulls down and presses back into place, same thing with this. Just pull it out, you'll have plenty of room to drop the window in with this frame on it. Which I'd recommend keeping that on there if you can, because I started taking the other one apart to swap it over, and it's not worth it, and unless there's any reason that this is broken. So yeah, that went in. Another little note: the exterior trim piece is different. It's still basically pressed into place. But I think if you go from the inside and push up with something underneath it and then push it up, the other side I went up, I brought it up from the outside and it popped up. That might have just been coincidence, but these are the clips that hold it. You can see there's a little metal spot, and it's kind of like a sock trap. If it gets caught on there and you just pull on it, it's got to bend all the way back around. And what happened is I bent mine a little bit. I can fix this, but not everybody has the ability to do that. If you don't want to booger up your exterior. Now this one's going to be harder to get to because you'd have to get this window out. But so that works though. Now to get this on this, so this is a power window. It's all the way down right now. What you'll do is probably put it about halfway, roll this mechanism up to where it's about halfway up, and then this, once it's in that weather stripping, it's going to kind of sit and move wherever you want it for the most part. You can put a piece of like a little plastic trim tool or something in here to keep it from, you don't want it to just slip and slide down depending on what your weather stripping is like. It's probably a good idea, you can stick some matchbooks or pieces of cardboard or something in there to keep it so it doesn't move super freely but moves a little bit. And then what you'll want to do is take it down and then take these two 10mm off, because what this does, this is basically a lever point for the mechanism that holds this up. So once you do that, you'll be able to fit these rollers. There's one in the back and then one in the front, and they have to go in these little valleys here. You can get those in there, and then what you'll do is just manually adjust where the window sits so that these two line back up. You probably want to make sure the right way. I'm not sure if that's, yeah, so you want there's a bar on the back side of this and then a pivot point right about here. So you want the longer side to be towards the back, otherwise it's not going to go back in right. And then fit those in there, and gradually, once those are in place, it should, in theory, just slide back up. I would either have somebody help, your switch is right there. When you go to slide it, roll the window back up the last time, just do it gently and make sure everything's going as it should. And it should, because basically these are built in a way to compensate, and the guides, these are what hold it in place. So that going back in was relatively painless, and I'm really happy how it turned out, and hopefully this helps somebody else out. Oh, another thing, there's a little trim piece up here on the top that you want to keep track of. It doesn't really probably hurt anything if it's missing, but once you take this top bar out and you flip it out this way, there's a little plastic piece on there, and just note how it's oriented, because probably what's going to happen is if you lose this, or if it breaks, you're going to have leaks and road noise, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, but overall this wasn't too bad, and I'm confident that getting the rest of it back together is going to be pretty simple. Thanks, guys.